Hello, everybody. How is everyone doing? My name is Lady Calamere, and I welcome you to my channel. If you're new here, hail and welcome. If you're returning, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I also appreciate any likes and subscribes and comments on my channel. I am doing my 364th presentation, and it will be on a Matrika, one of the seven Sapta Matrikas and Ashta Matrikas. Her name is Narasimhi. Narasimhi Devi. Her name means the woman lion. Devi means goddess. As Narasimha meant the man lion, so does Narasimhi mean the woman lion. All too often, she's been blended and confused with a Nada goddess who looks just like her, Pratyanjira. And I would have to say that they have a lot of similar functions, but they are different goddesses. And they come from different sources. Whereas Pratyanjira comes from one of Shiva's very awe-inspiring, ferocious aspects, that when Shiva tried to fight Narasimha, and it just seemed like Shiva in his form could not subdue him, so he becomes Sharaba. So the Narasimha becomes Gandhavarunda. Pratyanjira arises from the wing of Sharaba, whereas Narasimhi is the feminine form and comes out of Narasimha. So she is a feminine Shakti of Narasimha, and Vishnu takes on one of his major 10 avatars as Narasimha. So sometimes people confuse both of them, as people have confused Kali with Tara. And they are very similar, but it takes a trained eye. Here I got a perfect picture of Narasimhi, where she's holding the discus that Narasimha holds, and a conch. Pratyanjira is going to hold a trident called the Trishul. So, and she's also going to hold the double-headed drum, which is something that Shiva holds. So I hope that helps a little bit. And identifying which goddess this is. Now, both of them are extremely terrifying. By the way, the double-headed drum is called the Damaru. So, and that's basically the two triangle headed drums, like the triangle, the edges touching. So the Damaru represents cosmic balance as male and female coming together, uh, one of creation and one of creation and one of destruction. So you will see Pratyanjira holding that. Narasimha, no, sorry, Narasimhi, sorry, and Pratyanjira reminds us of another goddess in Egypt, the lion-headed goddesses of ferocity, of Sekhmet. I mean, there are other lion-headed goddesses there, like Tefnut, but the one that comes out of rage is Sekhmet. So, yes, and Sekhmet is quite rageful. So here we see the goddess. She looks like Durga, does she not? But with a lion's face, where she rides a lion. Narasimhi can be quite fascinating, awe-inspiring, and total fearful. Ferocity, I should say. And each Matrika has a vice. Hers would be definitely total rage, anger, ferocity. So that would be considered her vice. And her mantra, and let me tell you something, she should be approached with respect. She should also be approached with caution. Her mantra is Om Shrum 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 Narasimhaye Namaha. So it's spelled Kshraum. Shrum, shrum. So shrum, shrum, shrum. Narasimhaye Namaha. So the chakra in our body is where she definitely works at, is the Manipura, like the city of gems, which is the one in the center of your body. It is the yellow chakra, right below the heart and above, so right below the navel. So right in that middle space above the navel and right below your rib cage would be the Manipura chakra. Narasimha, again, approach her with caution. If you have no idea how to work with the darker goddesses, with the more ferocious goddesses, I would caution you. And like Narasimhi, who is the woman lion, and Pratyanjira, whose name comes from Pratyan meaning reverse, and Jira means energy, means to reverse the energy, which both of these ladies can reverse negativity. I mean, Pride and Joy will reverse negativity, but you have to be ready for them. You know how people say, I got a Moldavite and I'll never buy one again? And about how people's life got topsy turvy because they weren't ready for it, or because what it did was got caused things to happen, shake, the shit up, so to speak. And maybe some people have said, I've read things online that I got a Moldavite, my boyfriend got arrested. And now he's out of my life and I loved him, but maybe he needed to be out of your life and maybe he needed to be behind bars. I bought a Moldavite and I became homeless. But the whole story was I was with a man that wasn't treating me right, that was abusing me, that this was what you're saying, that she was being, verbally assaulted and physically abused. Moldavite probably did her a favor. I mean, I hate to say homelessness is a horrible thing, but so is living in fear every day for your life. I have this wrong. I have to be respectful. Sorry. Blessed God is sorry. Sorry. I had the wrong and I just realized it. And even though I have it covered up, I had it wrong. Maybe ending in a divorce, an unhappy marriage, or losing a job that was causing you nothing but misery. So you have to be ready for this energy because she will rattle things up. And she's not going to be easy with it. She's going to be quite ferocious and quite a force to deal with. Okay? Dealing with this goddess is not learning how to swim in such a gentle way. This is like taking you and throwing you in the water, in the ocean, say, now swim. Oh, watch out for the sharks there. I mean, that's how it could be. And her way is fast and quick. One has to be ready to work with goddesses like Sekhmet. And if you're a devotee of Sekhmet and you're a devotee of Shmashana Kali, and you're a devotee of energies, of ferocious energies like this, maybe you can take the step forward. If you think you're going to use Narasimhi to screw someone over, and you're going to use this volatile energy, think again. Can she be used to curse? Oh, yes, she can. Especially those who use magic just out of spite. Those who curse people just because I don't like them. Okay? Those who use their position of authority for misuse and abuse, especially someone who was trusted. It could be a priestess, it could be a priest, it could be a monk, a nun, someone of that spiritual authority who used their spiritual authority and used their spiritual power to manipulate, to try to control, to try to hurt. And people that teachers in the occult community or friends in the occult community, colleagues that use their powers to hurt. because they feel like it, because they thought it was great, because they thought you slighted them, because they took things out of proportion. Maybe because they feel like they're evil and they just want to use their powers for evil. Narasimhi is going to stop that. Okay? Her power is not a gentle flow. It's like in a dam. Imagine if the Hoover Dam went down in 5 seconds. What would happen to that flow? Or any dam holding a great body of water. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? That's her power. So sometimes people may not be ready for her. Sometimes you could be it's like putting a first grader, someone that should be in first grade, into 12th grade. So unless they're really brilliant kids, they're not ready for 12th grade. Am I correct here? You getting my point? It's like a kid playing with matches. Unless you're ready to know what that power can do and what can truly happen when you play with matches and you don't respect that firepower, what you think is could happen? You can scare yourself. You can probably burn yourself or burn the whole house down with you in it. And so I'm just saying that is the power of some of these deities, and that would be her power. So if you're not ready for it, take it slow, take it with caution. That's why they say, you know, sometimes you really need training or a guru. But again, I always say, what happens if there is no guru? What happens if the world gets reset? So does these goddesses disappear? These energies live within you. This goddess resides within you. You just have to be ready for her teachings, for her power. Okay? She's like a she's you know how they say sometimes Ekati Ekate can be like a 2x4 in the head. So yeah, she's one of what we would call in witchcraft and Wicca and paganism a dark goddess. She is so ferocious that when Durga was fighting Raktabija and she needed to call her help, the Matrikas came, and when she came onto the battlefield, she shook her head, and she has the head of a lion's male lion, not a female lion's head. This is correct iconography of a man with lion's head with such a mane. She has such mane, but when she shook her head and roared, it was a mighty, magnificent, primal roar of destruction that the constellations, the stars, the planets above shook. This is her power, the magnitude that she, in this story, shook the stars above. Pratyanjira, why was she called? When Sharaba was fighting with Narasimha, not and which where he became Ganda Barunda. That when she appeared, she knew that this battle was lasting and things were getting destroyed and the risk was great. That she was like, no, this isn't happening. She didn't have to brandish any weapons. She disappeared on the scene, shook her head, and left such a roar that you ever see two cats that fight and you're like, hey, what are you doing? And they just look at you and they're just stopped, like, uh. But in this part is when Ganda Barunda passes out in fear and Sharaba was stunned. That's the power of this Shakti, of these two Shaktis. And then one day I should do a presentation on Pratyanjira. But these these two deities have been so conflated with each other that they call her that, Narasimhi. Narasimhi is great for ending things, just ending it. Narasimha, and the story of why they were fighting is that one Narasimha basically destroyed Hiranyakashipu. He drank his blood and became aggressive. So there's different stories of how it ended, of how Narasimha's rage was controlled. So it's different stories, and the Shaktas, like different stories, will say, "Well, my God controlled your God." Well, no, my God was defeating your God, and my God is better than your God, or my tradition's better. So it's just a matter of one up. And I'm not dismissing anyone's religion. I'm just saying it's just one up. So, and there's different versions of how Narasimha, the male god, the man lion, was pacified. Because there's one story where Prahlada, his devotee, pacifies him. So both Pratyanjira, because like I said, Prati means reverse, and then Jiras means attacking, where they attack the negative energy. They're going to attack negative spirits and spells and black magic. But if you think on using this on innocent people, because she can really turn it on you, and she can actually work with someone's conscience. And what happens? Someone doesn't have a conscience. They don't care. They're just gonna do. Again, she can work with the mind and the heart. She has a way. So yeah, I don't want. I did have to talk a little bit about Pratyanjira so that you would understand some of the differences of these two goddesses. Wow, 24 minutes. I feel like I haven't said much about her. That these forces, her, this goddess, will help you overcome fear and ignorance and help you overcome wrong action. And she can be used to help others overcome ignorance and wrong actions, especially if they're doing this wrong actions to you. Narasimhi reveals fear, which is overcome by courage. So she also deals with the vice of fear, but also courage, the power of courage. The virtue is courage. Interesting enough that hot peppers are burnt to her. And I wouldn't advise that burning hot peppers, like even black pepper, red pepper, hot peppers indoors, because the fumes will turn into like a mace in your eyes. So you may want to do this in a very well ventilated area, or burn spicy incense. And it says to pacify her, as this is a way of saying, because, animal sacrifices were done to her. And the Vaishnavi way would be more of, let's burn, hot pepper to her. So in ancient Egypt, the way to pacify Sekhmet was to give her beer. And of course, wear red colored beer to look like blood, because blood intensifies her rage, where beer can pacify her. So that's why some people will give Sekhmet like a steak tartare, or give her, drop of their own blood, especially when they want her riled up. But I would be very careful, because I know Sekhmet could be used to hex an enemy. But once you release Narasimhi, Pratyanjira, or even Sekhmet, it's also uh, don't have buyer's remorse with it. So if like, I bought something, I wish I didn't do it. Well, you did it, so be prepared for it. And some people are not prepared. But I would be very careful about using certain energies for hexing, just because. I don't do that. Okay? I think it's a stupid waste of energy. And you do what you want. I mean, I've hexed people that deserved it. But I'd rather do something constructive with my time. That time, if you're taking time to hex someone out of vindictiveness, you could have done something more constructive with your time, like play with your cats or something, or learn something, or better yourself. So just be careful, as sometimes these energies, they could be sent back. And yeah, and some people just do what they want. So understand that this goddess, she doesn't play well with others, but yet she can be a great ally. And they say, oh, if you do this wrong, she's going to punish you. I'll just say this: when you play with things you shouldn't be playing with, like I said, with matches, or when you're not ready, you'll either be so confused or frustrated. Like imagine trying to teach 6-year-old calculus instead of 1 plus 1, two, 2 times 2, you know, count your try to teach a 4-year-old calculus instead of counting on their fingers. I mean, it's like expecting a 4-year-old to count to 100 unless they're geniuses, and then try to teach them calculus. It's just going to be, yeah, it's just not going to work out. That's the way I can explain it, or playing with matches analogy. She is a great protection. When she shakes her lion's head, the stars are thrown out of disarray, and yet she's enveloped and embodied with bliss. She's best worshipped at night, and a great time to worship her is the night of the dark moon, the balsamic moon, as it's called scientifically. But we like to call it the dark moon, but it's the balsamic moon. So she's benevolent to those who swim with the divine spiritual current. She is the guardian of Tantra and Vedas. She is also worshipped in the cremation grounds in India, and in which we have graveyards here, cemeteries. So I'm actually getting ashes. My friend, who's a Brahmin, and he is spiritual, and he did another spiritual journey in India, in which he got cremation grounds, which is being blessed, and I'm gonna get some. It's great to use with her. If you can't get ashes like that, you can get dirt with respect and pay for it for the spirits. You leave an offering, and if you feel you should not take that dirt from that place, listen to your gut. If you go to a graveyard and you feel I shouldn't take any dirt here, walk out. Thank them and walk out. You should announce your entry, and you should say goodbye, even if you're just driving through. Say hi, spirits. You know. So in some traditions, you knock when you talk to a grave stone. You knock 3 times, and when you're done, you knock 3 times again. So this goddess will fill you with energy and divine light. If you feel called to her, go for it. There are certain people who say, oh, if there's no guru, there's no Kali. Oh, there's a lot of people that have the Kali conscience. So, and Her power is extreme. Those who are willing to walk her power will have such blessings. Her mount is, of course, a lion, a male lion. And she is as if Narasimha was masculine, and people also, you know, associate this goddess with an extreme form of Lakshmi, being that she is wife of Vishnu. So yeah, I know. It's like mind bending. But she is the feminine force of Narasimha, where you have Kali and Kala, you have Vishnu Vaishnavi, Brahma Brahmani. So you have Indra and Indrani. So you have Narasimha with Narasimhi. She is even said to wear black clothes and a garland of skulls. Sometimes she has 4 arms, sometimes she has many more. So here she's holding her hand in the boon as a blessing. Like, here, take something. And the here up, this hand up is she showing fear not. The mudra of fear not. That I will remove your fears. I am blessing you with courage. She symbolizes raw, primal, ancient power. She removes obstacles. She is definitely an obstacle remover. Whew, an extreme obstacle remover. She represents divine justice and or dharma and balance, and she will fight the threat that threatens to take over that. She destroys ignorance, fear, and unrighteousness. She's the removal of internal as well as external forces that mean you harm and that are the enemy. She's for those who are seeking a higher way of life and spiritual growth. Those who are seeking cleansing of negative karmas. And we're not talking about karma. It comes around, goes around. Um, that's karma is what you're born into. And also, as Dr. Wayne Dyer, was Dr. Wayne Dyer? Wayne Dyer? Yeah, Dr. Wayne Dyer put it perfectly as his teacher taught him. The way people treat you is their karma. The way you react to it is your karma. The way you treat people is your karma, and the way they react to it is their karma. So that's another way of looking at karma. But also that all that imbalances to remove ah, divine punishments and punishments that you bring onto yourself, and to oh, what? What's got you all bugged up? To remove all the things that you have built up, the things that would cause you to end up learning harsh lessons, or end up reincarnating, where she can grant moksha. You don't have to reincarnate or feel like you need to reincarnate. So she is also said to be the removal of all sins and impurity. And well, I'm not just saying, oh, a Christian thing, because Hindus do believe in sins. You'll see that in it, to remove of sins and to represent inner purity. So she does grant boons and fulfill wishes. But so it's just how you approach her. Come on, this is Lady Boss, by the way. If you're new to my channels, just know that my channel is full of cats, cuteness, craziness, and chaos. So if you're new, meet Lady Boss, aka Little Boo. Named her after the goddess, Egyptian goddess Bast, and she's ever been a lady. She is a goddess of fierce compassion, and she is a warrior goddess. So just remember that. She is, I would put her as, you know how you have maiden, mother crone, but I say maiden in the east, warrior in the south. Well, I'm not saying she's south, but I'm just saying she's warrior goddess. Let's just say maiden, warrior, mother, crone, and sovereign queen. She is a warrior goddess. And she is on the extreme end of the ferociousness. So, how do I sum this up? If you are ready and willing for change, to change yourself, maybe she's willing to work with you. And if you're familiar with Narasimha, maybe you're ready to work with Narasimhi. maybe you will get the blessings that you want. Traditionally, and I'm saying traditionally, color clothing, it should be black or dark blue when working with her. Cleanse yourself or your area, mental, physical, spiritual, emotionally cleanse yourself. And this goes with Pratyan Jira as well. She loves fresh flowers, ghee lamps, which is clarified butter, coconuts, and fresh fruits, clean water, rice, uh, red cloth as well. She does like the color red as well as black. She likes mango leaves. Uh, she likes the betel leaves, betel leaves, and areca nut, Areca nut. So, fruits ideas like coconut, apples, uh, black or red grapes, bananas, or pretty cool for her. And a mantra for Pratyanjira, just Om Hrim Pratyanjiri Namaha. She likes camphor. Be careful with your animals with that, but you can burn camphor or camphor scented incense. East is a good direction to worship her. Though, if you're looking for like the power of the land of the dead, Yama's kingdom is facing south. I'll just throw that out there. She overcomes all your enemies and she overcomes dirty energy, unclean energies, and unclean spirits. You unclean spirits. Had to draw a little. Hey, I'm a Lokian, so I love Loki. Shouldn't have even mentioned that, but hey. So she represents enlightenment, and she is a fierce, fierce goddess. Very fierce. Make no mistake with that. And she may even test you with her ferocity, especially in vision. And if you ain't ready, you're going to be shocked. Just letting you know that. So, anyways, I think I'm gonna end this. And thank you for watching this. And there are monks now marching for peace, walking, not marching, walking. They started in Texas and they're ending in Washington, D.C. for peace, love, and happiness. So remember that there are monks walking for this. And I want you to, inner peace starts within you, not outside of you, but with you. So remember that. Be good to yourselves and others. Be true to yourself and love yourself. If you happen to see the monks, maybe donate some bottles of water if you can. Thank them for their sacrifice, what they're doing. Appreciate what they're doing because, and they're walking with their dog, Aloka, which means the dog names literally means light. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Like and subscribe to my channel. Share my video with your friends and family and with your Facebook groups and internet. However, with YouTube channels, I allow it. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, blessed be.